Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I did not expect this one. Now I don't know if this is really because people have heart and brains or just because it's convenient politically. So let's see what's going on here. This article comes from Sputnik and it is from today, the 24th, right, of October 2022. This is the title. 30 U.S. lawmakers urge Biden to pursue negotiations with Russia on Ukraine, a letter said. A group of 30 Democratic lawmakers from the U.S. House of Representatives on Monday sent a letter to President Joe Biden urging him to fundamentally change the administration's strategy with respect to the crisis in Ukraine and seek direct negotiations with Russia. And I'm quoting, "We urge you to pair the military and economic support the United States has provided Ukraine with a proactive diplomatic push, redoubling efforts to seek a realistic framework for a ceasefire," end quote, the 30 Democrats led by Pramila Jayapal, chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. All right. The authors of the letter warned Biden that, and I'm quoting, "the alternative to diplomacy is a protracted war with both its attendant certainties and catastrophic and unknowable risks." Well, the Democratic lawmakers pointed out that the conflict in Ukraine has already resulted in food and gas spikes far beyond Ukraine's, including the United States, while the increased price for wheat, fertilizer, and fuel have allegedly created global food shortages. And I'm quoting again, "If there is a way to end the war while preserving a free and independent Ukraine, it is America's responsibility to pursue every diplomatic avenue to support such a solution that is acceptable to the people of Ukraine," the letter said. And now, National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby, a weasel, said later in the day that the White House is aware of the letter from the Democrats to Biden, but noted that Russian President Vladimir Putin is allegedly not interested in negotiations at the moment. So they are Putin's secretary, or Kirby is Putin's secretary. He tells us if he's in a good mood, if he's in a bad mood, and right now he's not in a mood of negotiating according to Kirby, because Kirby knows best. Anyway, this is like you have an argument with someone and you get in a fist fight, and then someone comes and say, "Well, I want to stop the fight, but he doesn't want." But did you ask me? I mean, you didn't ask me. You just decided for me. Can I do the same thing and decide for you? What if the Russians said, "Well, the Ukrainians don't want to negotiate, or the Americans don't want to negotiate because we want"? What do you think the Americans will say? Switch into logic and say, "No, we don't say anything about that. Don't tell us what we think." But right now it goes the other way around. Well, it's unexpected, this letter. Obviously, Biden will not read it because, for obvious reasons, that I will not get into right now. The problem is, I don't know if this is just political, for show, for showing that, hey, we are 30 that we tried to, besides the being involved in a war, providing weapons, providing economic and financial support, we think that diplomacy would also work. But did you hear over there anything about the Russians? Everything was about anything about the Russians. Everything was about the Ukrainian people. Well, the other side doesn't matter or something. Everything he said that's acceptable to the Ukrainian people. Well, the thing is, when you have an argument between two sides, how are you going to make peace? If you try to make it in a fair way, let's put it this way, you have to have both parties agreeing to that. Unless you're strong and you just punch someone in the face and you say, okay, this is going to be done like this. Screw you, great you. So I don't know, it's very interesting because probably these guys do not get donations from the American military industrial complex, even though they didn't say, hey, we should focus on negotiation only. No, they say keep going with the military so you get your money, please donate, and with the economic, keep going with the financial, please donate, and try diplomatic ways. Please vote for me. Look how nice I am. So from economic, military to the weasel vote democratic way of getting elected and being in power and control, position of power and control, which is fine. Unfortunately, a lot of people that do not know what is going on around their, I don't know, room, let alone neighborhood or country, are voting. So that's why this kind of mass democracy has its drawbacks. Because one person like that, who let's say doesn't even work, let's say doesn't even want to work. I'm not talking about the person who, can't find a job, which you can find a job. The problem is you don't like the job. If I run right now, I can go outside and get 5 jobs today. Yeah, go to McDonald's, go to another fast food restaurant, in constructions, driving, all these things. You can find how many jobs you want. Be a cashier at a supermarket, be in a mall over there, open the door, close the door, say hello, look like a whatever. So there are jobs. The problem is I don't like doing those. I want to be in control and be the boss of everybody else. If I could be God, I'd be. So if with that attitude, you're not going to get a job ever. And you vote. And who are you going to vote for? The person who's going to tell you, you know what, there's enough jobs over there, go and get one, or the one who's going to say, oh, poor you, you're the victim of an oppressive system, systemic this and systemic that, so we're going to give you more money. But, since the government doesn't poop money, they have to get the money from. And usually it's like 2 ways. One, from the taxes of the ones who work and are taking their taxes forcefully. Why forcefully? Because if you don't pay it, eventually the cops will show up at your door and arrest you eventually. So that's why if you're going to be forcefully, you have to do that, otherwise you're going to go to jail. So by doing that, or by loans, or by printing, and you're going to get the money, and everybody else works for you. Like for instance, we have here in the United States, we got the dollars, we print them, and we exchange it for whatever, some things that we just use $1, and other people make our clothes and all that, and we consider ourselves very, very fair in doing that. I'm not going to get into that one because I think it's just a sneaky way of exploiting other countries. But as you know, life is not based on justice and on equality of opportunity, which even though it should not be, because you make your own opportunities sometimes. I'm just going to give you an example. If you go to, let's say, you earn a PhD, you open some opportunities that a person without a PhD will not have it. So yes, you're not equal. They're not equal opportunities because you created an unequal opportunity by working hard or having certain goals. Maybe someone wants to be, I don't know, Formula 1 driver. He gets a Formula 1 driver. That's good. He's going to have that one. A person who doesn't have a driver's license doesn't have that opportunity. So, you see, you don't have you have the opportunity to get it or to compete. Not to get it, to compete. If you're good enough and circumstances allow you, and if you know the right people. Yeah, that plays a big role. I think the biggest. Unless you're just, ooh, and then they say, this guy? No, me neither. Let's go. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.